Hard Nosed Derby Podcast. We got a guest.
We do. This is the week of the show, second annual Terry Lierly Memorial Derby, Plesant Hill, Illinois. So I figured, fuck it, let's just get the dude here. Austin Johnson, what's happening, man?
No, not a lot. Trying to finish up some loose ends, get everything ready for the weekend. Been busy a couple weeks.
Couple weeks?
I guess a year, I guess. Well, yeah, especially this last week, I got a bad problem with procrastinating.
It happens with the Derby guys. It does happen. After last year, the progression that you guys had last year with just the Terry shows at Plesant Hill, you revamped. We know that Mike Brown bowed out, so you took roughly 6 or 7?
We ended up with 7 shows total, counting the state fair. I would have took more. I asked the guys what they wanted to do. Basically, they all gave me 6 shows. So we chose the 6 shows that we wanted, and that's what we went with.
We did get to go to I got to go to the first Griggsville show.
Yep.
I was leery to the point of seeing what you had for street stocks last year in your Plesant Hill shows to this year. The only car count that has really been down is the street stock.
Is the street stock. Everywhere, though, us included.
Yes.
We changed a few rules. I think that bit us a little bit. We will revamp and revise over winter and look at that again. As far as the numbers being down, they were. I mean, there was a couple shows with 4 cars. We had 13 at Mount Sterling. It was still a good show, but even with the car count, the street stock class has still been fast-paced as ever.
And we run into that at a few of ours last year. You know, there was a couple that we had 8. They still put on a hell of a show.
Yep. No.
So,
but they were a stout 8.
Yeah.
Yes. But quality over quantity any day when it comes to that. As far as car counts as a whole, we've been very fortunate in the 60s at every show, where a lot of shows around us might have 24, 26 total, everything else. So we've definitely counted our blessings there and been fortunate to still have a quality show throughout.
Yes. So I'm going to ask, you said you did a little rule change.
Yep.
What was the rule that you think is keeping the guys from really showing up?
Transmission braces and tying the aftermarket case transmissions in. We took it away. Figured that the low budget guy could compete then that don't have the aftermarket case or the tranny brace, and we knew it was going to hurt some of the car count. We did. What we thought it would gain us though on the lower end, it did not.
It didn't.
No, them guys stuck to the hobo.
Which you're getting a fucking truckload of hobos.
So we're right at 20 every show with hobos.
Every show.
Which that class really come on in the last year.
It did.
I mean, it has.
It did. Any budget can win that class. You don't have to have the money to buy everything. I mean, there's been everything from a greaser 350 win the class to yes, somebody having a coal you're in and winning, but I mean anything can win. It's stock rear end, stock. I mean, case transmission, everything, stock cross member, minimal welding. Anybody can go out and compete in that class.
And they bend.
Oh yeah, they bend. They're junk at the end of the night usually. Yes. And they still use them like they're street stock cars.
They do. They do. But when we've kind of said that, the guys over in Illinois, they just drive a little bit different. Don't know why.
Plesant Hill especially, it's always had that reputation that it's going to be fast-paced. People last year brought up they were probably to put timers on the heats and stuff down there. It's not needed. It's not needed.
No, because we were watching heats of 15 be done in less than 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Last fall.
And complete carnage.
Yes.
Yes.
So, how you went from just a few shows last year, you got your guys on board to do your 6. Roughly 60 cars every show.
Yeah, 60, 65 every show.
You said you were procrastinating, but you're a lot more busy this year than you were last year.
Yes.
Just because of adding the extra shows. And it's not like they were all at Plesant Hill.
No.
I mean, they were at Griggsville, Springfield, Mount Sterling.
Yep, Adams County.
Minden.
Quincy, whichever you call it, yep.
So that changes a little bit.
It does. Yeah, it does, for sure. It's still fun, though.
One thing that I have noticed that you haven't got to run near like you did last year. Because last year, you had your 3 And then you were running, you ran at Wentzville or St. Charles last year.
Ran Border Wars last year, St. Charles. I didn't run much last year either, compared to normal. But yeah, I still ran Border Wars, St. Charles. I feel like I'm missing one in there.
You run 3 or 4 right there in a row. Did you run Augusta?
Mayhem. I ran Mayhem
yes.
last year.
Yeah.
But really, that was about it. I ran 3 or 4 shows. I've only ran one this year so far. Peoria was it.
I got to ask. I know you don't paint cars.
Yep.
You bought that car like that color.
That color, yeah. About 20 years ago, probably it had a repaint. They used House of Color paint. It was actually House of Color Purple. It'd sit outside the last 20 years in a pasture. Chad Rennicker, my neighbor, body guy, came down. He's like, I think we can bring this back to life. And that's what we did.
Put a little buff magic on it.
A lot of buff magic.
Because that was a pretty bitch.
Yep.
It looked really... Steven, did it look really cool going in front of you like fucking 40?
One into the other. I was pissed off. I was like, this motherfucker, I've got the most pristine car I've ever had in my life. That was a factory brown with metallic in it.
Metallic brown.
Of Mopar's factory colors that we buffed and shit. And I was like, this motherfucker's got a bright purple.
Yeah, it was definitely fitting, I guess, for there. I wanted something that looked good. Just all came together. I was able to put a decent run together with it, too. So
you fucked up everything.
Yeah, I was going to, like I said, like we talked about earlier, I was going to drive to win. The in-car camera changed all that in a hurry.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. So if you understand, if you heard him do a little conversation before that show, that he was going to drive to win, that's why. So if you ever want to see somebody just go balls deep in something, just put an in-car camera in Austin's car.
Yes.
Well, we were all sitting back there, and Derek was talking to him. He's like, well, what do you think's going to, like, what do you think everything's going to stay the same? I was like, I guarantee it's not. Like, I said, I watched them. They were putting cameras in Austin's car. What do you think's going to happen?
Yep. I had asked Jerry for forgiveness ahead of time because he knew it was coming.
But didn't hurt motor, didn't hurt rear end, none of that good stuff.
None of that stuff. Like I said, twist the input shaft when I was pushing Greg over. I should have clutched it a little sooner. We just had a little party and left to do.
How did all the people who jump on board for Terry, second show, I didn't used to be that emotional of a guy, but last year, I came over and I got to announce with Mr. Jax.
Yep.
And that was cool as shit. You know, you got him out of retirement for that show
Yes.
and that show only. And then I was doing the on-track stuff and the support, looking around and hearing, you know, when you're doing those interviews and talking with the family and everything like that. Y'all fuckers were making me tear up. It's a big difference in knowing a guy and really knowing a guy.
Yes.
You know, I had known of Terry, knew Jerry, but the rest of the family, and just to see the complete support for the whole community, what they're doing. You are making huge payouts, but profits are going to the Terry Lierly Memorial Fund.
Correct. We're not trying to make a lot of profit. We're trying to get back to the drivers. We want to make this show as big as we can for Terry.
Well, boys and girls, I
Well, the
think y'all
flyer-
are doing it.
Yeah, the flyer definitely represents that.
So let's just go into it. Street stocks,
Yep.
$7,500 to win.
Yes.
I believe you're paying 10 spots.
10 spots.
Ninth place is $1,000.
Yep. And top 5 are all over 1,000. $2,500 Dominator.
We're talking.
The total purse is $43,000. Yes. In a town of less than 2,000 people, and in a county population of less than 15,000.
Oh my. $4,000 hobo.
4,000 win hobo, 2,500 for second. I think 1,500 for third even, and $1,000 Dominator there.
That right there is what we were talking with Dalen a while ago, several episodes ago. The street stocks on all these other classes or shows aren't really predominant as they were the last few years, so all these guys are going down to hobos. you're going to get those guys coming down Hobos.
Yeah, we are.
So, not all these guys have 300 horse motors sitting around. They just don't. I mean, if you've got a stable of GHE transmissions and Colliers, whether it's Dalen, Allen, Colton Case Doyle, somebody like that. Now, you put them guys in a hobo car. Ow. I mean, and really that's all I can say, because you're going to have it. You're going to have these guys building down. Hell, it could be Rob and Trey Hewer. Like you and Jerry went to Peoria to do it.
I mean, that's a build that takes 3 days versus 3 months, honestly.
Now, you say 3 days.
Yeah.
I'm going to wave that bullshit flag.
I built Jerry's car for Peoria in 3 days.
But you're not right.
Mine probably took 3 months. But
that's that procrastination.
I should say when everything's ready. I mean, everything was ready to bolt in. Motor and training was together, training cooler there, all the lines ready. It was all ready just to throw in.
Car was already stripped.
The car was already stripped.
All you had to do was throw in the cage and bolt it.
No, I had to put a cage in it.
Oh, I thought that was
no, I had to put a cage in it. Oh, no. Sidebars were in it. Halo was in it. I did, but I had to move the dash bar and, put a back seat bar in it. But 3 days. I mean, but that was everything 100% ready. The bumper was ready to go on. Everything was ready to go right in.
There was no fabbing.
No fabbing anything. You can do it, but yes, everything. All the puzzle pieces have to be ready for you to assemble.
And now you have incorporated the point series.
Yep.
As well.
And you've had some loyal followers on that. Like, they've been chasing the shit out of
Yes. That's one thing. Our drivers have been very loyal to us all year. Very fortunate there.
Hurt cars.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've seen some hurt cars getting, you're like, that bitch is junk. There's no way.
And they're limping her back.
Got the live feed at Minden.
Yes.
And I was like, well, I don't know. And I watched Jaden pull out there. I was like, that car is a pile of shit.
Yep.
Like we've said, he needed to show up points.
Yep.
He still wheeled it down to
third.
Yeah, top 5.
Yep.
So he got his points there.
And that was a battle between him and Miller and Kitchell and Kunkel that night.
Oh, yes.
I think they all been fresh cars. It would have been a real good battle.
That if they were all fresh cars, I think that's where you almost needed the time limit.
Yep.
Because I think that would have been that
40
minute.
It was a good battle.
But that's what you've got guys, good drivers and good builders. Jaden kind of hasn't been to the forefront.
He's a young kid.
He's young. He's just been hanging
maybe
out.
10 shows total now.
And then he goes to
and
Peoria,
second place,
and wheels that bitch down in
Impressive.
a street stock. I was like, who in the fuck is this kid?
Yep.
And then you start seeing him. Griggsville, Minden, Plesant Hill.
Yes,
all
year.
Sometimes the points brings out the best in everybody.
It does. The competitive edge. Everybody wants to be number one.
Because are you paying for your points? Are you doing separate classes, or is it all one?
It's separate classes still. I was going to do all one, but we're doing separate classes still.
Another smart man.
Yep.
Because it's really close between Jaden and Damon Miller,
yes.
Correct? Like really close.
Really close. Whoever places higher will win at this next show.
See, that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. Now, we were speaking before. They're buddies.
Very good buddies.
They run together.
Yes.
So, how can you see that playing out? Because I don't think either of them are the type of guys that are just going to fuck the other guy.
No, they're still going to run her down as far as they can. I mean, it's not going to come between them.
Let's hope.
Yes. Yes. Last year, same way with the points, though, in the street stock, Sean and Allen were neck and neck that last show. Yep. Basically, whoever placed better won.
And that was rough.
It was brutal at the end.
That was
brutal.
Rough. I still think we're going to see that. Because it's an aura. It's I don't know if it's like a facility curse, but people
it's a reputation. Like,
they just go fucking stupid.
It is.
It's crazy. You talk to anybody that has been around Derby in the tri-state area, they know what Plesant Hill is. They're going to tell you that back in the day it was insane, that hard-hitting show, and really the action hasn't changed.
No.
Just the build style.
Build style, yes. I would hope to say that we're a little more organized nowadays down there.
And you're not quite as hard.
No.
60 inches of plate with kickers and shit.
60 inches plus, yes, no.
Yeah, 60 inches plus of what you could see.
But the drivers down there seem to carry on that tradition proudly to run hard.
And it's something about it because I see those guys that go to these other tracks. They don't run.
They don't run hard.
They run hard, but not that hard.
You're correct.
So it's like as soon as you pull onto the Plesant Hill Fairgrounds, it's just holy shit. It's just
well, it's usually hit or get hit down there. I mean, it's usually not a choice.
Yeah, because you don't have time to just drive around on that track.
No.
There's no cat and mouse out there. Because it's not just two people that you're having to watch out for.
No.
Oh, it's fucking 30.
Yes.
You know, the Rubel boy.
Yep.
We've seen him several times, Quincy and a couple different places, and he always struggles. And if anybody who knows what I'm talking about, he's got the biggest fucking roof sign I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yes.
He has stepped his game up with the hobo build, and where he's cashing checks.
Oh yeah.
Where'd he run it? He run it at one of your shows and cooked that motherfucker down with no water in it.
Plesant Hill, he cooked it down at the fair.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, but it was one of them hometown show.
Yep.
Let's get it on.
Yes, and he's a guy that will limp a car back together, show after show, and still place in the money with it every time. Griggsville, actually, this year, he pulled out of an inspection and pulling away lost an axle. The axle came plumb out of the rear end. And I said, don't worry. I said, he'll be here tonight. He went out and got fourth that night out of, I think, like 21 hobo.
That's
he's still there. I mean, that's him.
Because most guys, that would have happened. They'd have said, fuck this. I'm not pulling this apart. Not happening. Just put it on a trailer. We'll take it home. We'll fix it. We'll run it next week.
Yep.
Not these guys.
But I mean, look, just if anybody's listening that doesn't know what we're talking about, get on YouTube.
Oh, yes.
Type in Plesant Hill.
Type in Plesant Hill all the way back. I mean, you're going to see videos from 08, 09 especially.
Yeah.
October 09 Plesant Hill is one of the best derbies from start to finish you'll ever watch.
That was
Alan Brown in the
Imps
Bubba Lincoln, and then Mike in the two-door Cadillac. Colt was in a Imperial in the Old Iron Heat. But start to finish, the Saxberries and Alan got it on. And that group, it from start to finish, as far as action, it's one of the best derbies you'll ever watch. And it was cold. It was miserable that night. I was a senior in high school, and I still remember going down there freezing. And it was 2 o'clock in the morning. But
I don't miss those. I don't miss that 2, 3 o'clock in the morning stuff.
No, our goal is to be done before midnight this year.
Yes.
Last year was 1:30. Our goal is midnight this year.
You starting a little bit earlier?
We're starting 1 hour earlier. Can't start too early, obviously. Tech and everything's going to get in the way.
Correct.
And we got the cornhole that morning.
Yes.
So we want it finished before the derby starts.
You are opening Tech
Friday night at 6.
At 6.
Yep, 6 to 11 Friday, and then 7 to 1 on Saturday.
So your game plan is to have hopefully everybody through Tech the first time on Friday.
I would like people that can. I mean,
retext for Saturday is what you're hoping but you're going to have some stragglers.
Well, we're going to have most come Saturday, I'm sure. But yes.
And then I did read that you are opening up the Tech barn for the kids.
Yes.
After everybody gets a stick.
Yes. And that seemed to go over well last year. The interaction with the kids and the drivers, they enjoy that.
I mean, Tony Miller usually posts that you're going to have an autograph booth.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that part yet.
Well, it's been a failure every time.
We're going to do some stuff for the kids. We've got some, I call them midget sizes. We've got some hard-nosed Derby podcast shirts and the small and the mediums left. So we're going to bring those with us to give out to some kids. I ain't figured out how we're going to do it yet. You know, first kid to find my big ugly ass in the stands or something like that. Or I don't know. I haven't figured that part out yet. But
and we have the Power Wheels for the kids before the show. Brad Roach will be bringing them.
Roach Power Wheels. Hell, I think he run 4 or 5 heats of them last year. There were so many kids.
several.
That was so fun to watch.
There was a lot of Power Wheels.
Yes, and Brad's dedicated to it. I mean, I got to give it to the guy.
Oh, yeah.
For what he does for the kids.
I mean, because I've seen Power Wheels just junk, broke in half,
Yep.
and he'll throw them on the trailer, and if there's a derby the next week, he spent all week fixing them.
Yeah, and for what really, it's a minimal fee for us to have him there.
Yes.
For their enjoyment.
Yes.
So I'm very thankful for that.
So we're going to go into Steven's favorite. You have Hobo Compacts.
So we have Hobo Compacts, minivan, mini truck, mini SUV. We have youth full-size Hobo, street stock weld, and stock lawnmowers.
He didn't even give me a fucking look.
I told you.
Yep. And them stock mowers, actually, the last 2 times that we've had, I'm impressed.
See?
They really have. Jock Bryson and his gang come up from Wellsville and stuff, and it's been a good show every time. He's telling me figures he's probably going to try to get us 20 there this time.
I was going to say, because I watched them in California a few weeks ago, and the stock, they had 3 classes. They had a stock, like a mod, and then a full tilt mod.
Yep.
The stocks, I seriously enjoyed.
Yeah.
And he said I'd catch so much shit for saying it, but I didn't care. Them fuckers, I had no idea. NLR shifters on the rear fenders, foot pedal for gas.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, going.
Yes. We had them, like I said, last year there was a late cleanup show. And then this year at Griggsville, only 2 of them showed up, but them 2 still put on a show. And even they wanted them back there because they enjoyed it. So I'd say that it's probably going to be a good one.
Now, you have a very good race for your points in the little cars as well.
Yes.
It looks like Clayton Fernandez. Jonathan Petrosky are 1 and 2.
Yep. Still anybody's ball game there.
Because the 3rd and the 4th and the 5th aren't far away.
They're not far away. They can still jump in. So this last show is double points. So that's where the whole game changer comes in. It's still anybody's race.
You double points. How did you set your points up? Do you have a certain amount of show-up points? Or
so it was 20 show-up points for each show. First was 100. Second was 80. Third was 60. I'm trying to remember the breakdown. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. And Dominator was also 60. You've got the Dominator. And then we just done your best 3 shows, so you didn't feel obligated to run every single one of them. But your best 3. But you could always try to improve. So, I mean, obviously most people still try to run your best 3 plus the Memorial show.
Because I know, like, Little John, he went over to Griggsville the first show and got put out pretty quick.
Yep.
So that's kind of one of them null and voids, booted out, and then you don't have to worry about that shitty finish. I like that idea.
But he came back and won Plesant Hill.
Correct.
Yep. And then had a top 5 finish at Mount Sterling.
Yep. I know he's coming. I got that Snapchat.
Same car, though.
I would say probably the same one from Mount Sterling. It would look good still.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt.
Yep.
I just, the sport brings people together so much that you're talking guys who run nothing but W bodies. And then one guy is nothing but Camrys. And they have actually came together as buddies and they run together. When you look across and you see a guy's bumper that says Camry Killer on the front of it, and you're that sumbitch sitting in that Camry, you just don't know how that's going to partake. But, that just shows loyalty and everything that everybody gets to. You just come together.
Yes. I heard that Clayton's hurting everybody's car count anyway because he's bullying the competitors.
And he does like to be a bully sometimes, yes.
That fucker is a bully. I will say it.
People can bully back, though.
Yeah, they can, but son of a bitch.
Yes.
But it comes back to it. Would you rather be the hammer or the nail?
I'd rather be the hammer 100% of the
time.
time.
Buddy. Yes. So you just got to be quicker to be the hammer instead of the nail.
Yes.
You've even got some little mini SUVs coming in. You got some brown boys.
Mike and his son Brian have been very loyal.
Oh.
Them Trailblazers are impressive factory.
Yeah.
They are impressive.
Ask Blake Lubric's S10.
Andy Parrish ran every show of ours this year. He's right in the points race. Him, Mike Hornung, and Zach Freitag are all, any one of them can win it. So I know they'll all be there. But yes, them Trailblazers. But there's like anything else, the front suspension's junk.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to get to the front wheel. But yeah, no, that class has been the highlight of some shows as far as action. I mean, especially Mount Sterling.
That was fucking wild.
That was nuts. I've always told them. I mean, they always ask why they run first. Usually the car counts down a little bit, but I said it's just like a book. You want to catch people's attention, and then we want to end the book with a huge ending. The middle's just the plot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's why you guys are starting it out. You guys get everybody involved.
That's why we started running gun goes first.
Yep.
Yeah. You just don't realize that a lot of people watch these things on videos, whether it's, on derbytees.tv or something like that. Until you see it in person, you don't realize how fucking fast these guys are going.
Yes.
Minivan. We said it a couple weeks ago. We never thought in a million years.
If you would have told me in 2013 you'll be talking about how hard the SL minivan, I would have told you.
You'd have laughed.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you would have said that some of the people you see driving minivans and derbies now would ever get in a minivan derby, people thought you were crazy. But, I've never been too proud of derby anything. I have just as much fun in a gut-and-go compact. I do.
As long as you're hitting something, you don't give a shit.
Now my body hates it more. But I'll still go out and run anything. Still the rush. And I think a lot of guys are the same way. I mean, they might not want to admit it at first, but I'd say anybody go wreck a minivan.
Oh, yeah. I got a Snapchat, and a good buddy of ours is over in Illinois, and he took 3 to a local fair show.
Yep.
Because they didn't have time to build the big cars.
Yep.
To finish their shit. So they wanted to run it home. So next thing I know, I'm getting videos of 3 minivans. I'm like, what the fuck is that? He was like, man, it was fun.
Yeah.
And I cashed a check.
Yep.
Well, we've got to see guys around here, Teddy and Teddy and them guys around
Yeah.
Salisbury that year.
Yep.
And they're abundant.
Yes.
And cheap, really,
You
relatively
can
cheap
almost
compared to
call
everything
the
else.
wrong number and end up with a caravan.
Yeah, so that's the best thing about that. I mean, it's probably honestly even more affordable than the gut and go now.
Yes.
Because a clean W body or a clean Camry that runs the drives is not cheap anymore.
No, it's $700, $800, $900.
Yes, every bit of.
Yeah. So, one thing that you do have, we all know that Terry was a very good cornhole player. He is actually, you have the tournament that starts at 9.
It starts at 9 in the morning, yep. I think last year we had 50 teams in it.
Whew.
But, it's $1,000 to win.
Correct.
It's not your average.
Yeah, you're not winning a fucking set of boards and bags. You're
No.
winning a G.
Yes. Yep.
Last year you guys did like a pre-registry
For the
cornhole.
Yep. I know that Rod Burleson is handling all that this year. Rod him and his partner actually won it last year. So, but he is actually helping organize it this year. Brian Lynch, who done it last year, sold everything, which we knew. So Rod stepped up and helping us out there. Because I couldn't tell you the first thing about putting on a cornhole tournament.
No problem. That's about it. And he's usually my partner, and by the time he's usually so fucked up, he don't even know what score it is.
Yep. So I hope for a good turnout for that again. That again pays 5 places for it, plus the 9th place gets another $300. That's all possible by Jerry.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. That's one thing that I know you have. You've got so many guys that have jumped on board for sponsorships and shirts.
Yes.
Hoodies.
Chris Basso has been phenomenal.
I'm seeing the Terry shirt right there in front of me. If I was to ask you for a list, I think it would take you most of the day.
Oh yes.
To give me who all is on that list. I know the family itself is so supportive of what you're doing. They don't question anything. They just, here you go, just roll with it because they know you're going to do it the right way. So, what are you looking forward to the most? Because I know this is your last show for the year.
For the year, yep.
I know last year you guys kind of throw together a little cleanup show in the middle of October.
And that might be a possibility. I always like to say for the cleanup shows, see what cars are left, what other people are having cleanup shows, what weekends are available that you're not on a fall festival or something in the area.
Now there's that problem. You added another national level show between it and Blizzard Bash.
Yep.
Does that fall anywhere into your consideration?
Not really, just because the build type here. A lot of the guys that are going to be running that show are probably going to have a different setup from around here. I mean, they're going to have their mod setup or their cradle setup versus we're not running the cradles here. And like I said, it plays into, I mean, if nobody's going to build a fresh car this late in the year.
No.
Not for something like that. So
Nope.
if everybody's junk after Plesant Hill, then it's probably not a good idea to have a cleanup show.
Correct.
On that.
What's something that you're going into this coming Saturday? Starting Friday night.
Yeah.
Going into Friday night to Saturday, what are you looking forward to the most?
Oh.
And it don't even got to be a show. It could be fucking
not.
Macho Nachos parked on that bitch.
Well,
we
that's
don't
one-
care.
Well, that's one thing we're lucky. We only got 12 food vendors.
Yes. 12, guys.
12.
Not one, not two, fucking 12.
We had to turn several away.
Oh, my.
Just because power supply, you don't want too many.
Correct.
Because nobody's, but, I mean, we got 12 of them. That's and a little something
12
for
of them
everybody.
can make good money. 20 of them are going to
Yes,
be cutting each other's throat.
and 12, you won't have the long line. I
Yes.
mean, then there's something all day long. I'm sure a couple of them even be open Friday night for tech. Last year, we were pretty busy Friday night down there. We were.
Some of the best fish I've ever ate, boys and girls.
At the Little League stand?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, my.
Yes.
And
Jerry has to find his way there.
I will say the best shrimp tacos I've ever ate in my life.
Macho Nacho. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I would say, yeah, the quality of the food there is always phenomenal. But no, looking forward to most of everybody coming together.
Now, do you have the same techs as last year?
I have most of the same ticks. Everybody,
Here comes a curveball, boys.
no. Everybody throughout the summer has been the same as last year. We will have a couple extra hands at the show just with the amount of cars. So there will be some new faces there.
I want to call his fucking ass out so bad.
Yeah, next Friday you'll see.
This Friday. We'll
Or this Friday, yeah.
Son
This
of a
Friday, not
bitch.
next Friday, yeah.
This
I wish.
Friday.
Last year was the following weekend.
Yes.
We did move it up a weekend this year. Mayhem moved up a weekend, actually.
Yes.
I did not want to be on the same weekend as Mayhem.
No.
Because I had planned on running myself, and I never want to fight against a national level show.
Correct.
So we moved up a weekend, and just happened to fall on the 9th. That's another thing.
That's just perfect.
Yes.
Absolutely perfect. But like I said, somebody else don't get to go. He's going to be at the lake for work.
Yeah.
Hey, there's
Shit.
I know countless people have to miss it. Luckily, it'll be on Derby Nation.
Well, that's what I told them.
Yeah.
As soon as we get done with our meetings, I'm gonna.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, still be able to air it. Weather, knock on wood, is looking great so far.
Oh my, yeah.
I did look out to see.
Man, I finally had to stop doing that.
I usually don't. For the fair show stuff, I don't get worked up. This one, I mean, I want it to be perfect.
Correct. Yeah. It looks like maybe you changed your pit parking a little bit.
Minimal. The pit parking is how it was supposed to be last year.
Okay.
It was not enforced. Just trying to help, because we will have heats, I'm sure, in a couple of the classes. Just trying to help the skid loader drivers so they're not going every which direction. They know if it's a compact car, they're going to the south end. If it's a full-size car, they're going to the north end. That way we don't have the cluster.
I try to do that too. I just hope you got better parkers than I.
We got 4 guys supposed to be doing it, so that we can kind of keep that chaos. Because, I mean, Plesant Hill is a smaller grounds.
It is.
It is the best fair board to work with. So we've got to try it. Last year, I think we had 142 cars. Hopefully we hit that again this year. But it's full with 140 there. 2,800 spectators last year. Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know.
I really want to go over there and win the fucking raffle car.
Whoever wins the raffle car is going to get to run a very nice piece.
Well, this is going to air Thursday, and they'll already be here. There's actually guys from Utah that are coming crazy fuckers are driving. They got to take some parts back with them. So they're going to come in for roughly about a week. They have both said that they have every intention of buying raffle tickets. One of them is a Gold Rush National Qualifier. Nothing against the guy that's coming with him, but I want to see that little fucker win it.
I want to see somebody win it that can drive it. I do. The car goes straight to the hobo feature. It's capable of winning, but it's also capable if you want to go out and junk something. It runs.
Now, last year, I'm holding the bucket.
Yep.
In the middle of the track. Can you remember who we had draw a name?
Bo Potter. Brent's
that's
son
right.
drew the name.
Brent's son drove his name, and Austin looked at it, and he went, "Son of a bitch!" And it was McAllister boy,
Corey McAllister,
who won it.
Yep.
And the first thing that you did is looked at me and says, "I don't know if this is going to hold up."
Yep. It didn't.
It didn't.
Rods are out the pan.
But this motor is a little bit different. This is the one.
This is a very unique motor.
This was the one that was in your Mopar wagon at Plesant Hill that you hit like 14th gear.
Yeah.
In the middle of the track and stood it up every which way possible. But
that would still look great.
Oh yeah, it's fresh still.
Have you ever seen this motherfucker in a wagon and it didn't look completely fresh?
It's still down below. It needs a cliff and a sub in a bad way. But
I had that blur. I wanted it bad. Because all that shit would have slipped right
It's still down there, cage in it and everything. But no, it's a 74 Plymouth Fury with a built 368 Mopar engine that has the best part you can get for a Mopar in it. It does have an MV 3500 5-speed behind it. I'm not building something with an auto.
No.
But every part's best it can for that class. Got a 8 3/4 or 390 gears. It will get.
See, so I can just imagine one of these guys.
Yeah.
Winning it.
Yep. The motor actually came off an old pulling tractor. Is what it was.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, I bought it just to run the one time, really, and it's sat in the corner of the garage ever since I ran it that night.
I've heard of, it came out of an old dump truck, or it came out of an old fucking grain truck, or no, this bitch came out of a fucking pulling tractor.
Yep.
Whew. But anybody's, you've got that on Facebook, so you
you
can hear it.
And it runs way better now than any video posted. I got the valve set and everything. It's dialed in, ready to party. It's got everything, like I said, on that engine, capable and throughout the driveline of winning that night. It does. And if the driving's not the thing for you, there's also a $2,000 cash option if you're drawing.
Okay, so you just hit that. There's a $2,000 cash option. So if my editor, my wife, wins, she takes a $2,000 cash option. Are you going to raffle the car? Or are you going to auction the car to drive that night?
So last year we were going to auction it off if somebody took the cash option. Probably do the same.
So if you buy all these raffle tickets, which they started a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Early bird special, I think. And
last year an early bird ticket is one. Corey was an early bird ticket.
Was he?
Yep. He was not from that night, that one.
So if you have all these tickets, guys, you don't get your number drawn on Saturday, it's going to get auctioned.
Oh yeah.
If that choice is taken.
Yes.
So,
it was built to run there for somebody.
Bring cash. I'm ready.
Yeah. There's so much to do still, but I'm ready for it. Like I said, we're down to short hairs and getting everything finished up. TJ Irvin made some killer trophies again for this year. Chris Basso with Justice Graphics doing all the Happy Gilmore checks again for every class. Everything from the mowers all the way through. The Dominators will have something special again. Even Power Wheels checks for the kids.
I think we need to start, just for this show, not like a fantasy league because you don't know who all's coming.
Yes.
But I think once we need to figure out a way to parlay bets. Once you know who's there, they've got techs, they got through tech, they got a stick, and all that stuff. We need to set up a stand where we can parlay bets. Who's going for Mad Dog? Who's winning Mad Dog? Who's taking home top 3 check?
Yep.
Something like that. Let's just go ahead and ramp that shit up a little bit more. I don't know how much more you can ramp it up, really.
Yep.
For the show wise, you can't.
Oh no! I mean, the energy that goes into the show last year shocked me even. Start to finish, it was hard hitting every class, every heat. I mean, it was 10 solid hours of derbying.
Yes. No fucking around.
Yes.
Minus a little bit of stuff that, was done on track.
Yeah.
With the family and
yes.
whatnot. Hell, I know EP East Pike Boys, they built a cut and go W body, and it was auctioned off that night. And then you had the raffle car that Corey won. There's constantly stuff going through pretty much all night, isn't there?
Oh, yes. There's going to be something, all night in the downtime that we're going to do, giveaway. Got a bunch of stuff to throw out again. Try to keep it going. I want as little downtime as possible for the crowd. Last year, I would say at the end of the show that 90% of the crowd was still there that we started with.
Yes. Yes.
Usually you see that long a show. I mean, we started at 4 and it was over at 1:30, and I really bet you there's 90% still there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there was. Yeah, you could look across them, actually under the awnings and everything, and I was like, there's still full seats.
Yeah, it was still full.
Yeah.
But the action was there. You talk to a lot of guys, Don Santel, Rob Hewer even, they tell you their favorite place to go watch is Plesant Hill. That's why they'd rather not run it. It's the show to go watch.
It is. Here's the dilemma that we are in. This is probably the most ramped up in a 2-week stretch that we have ever had doing this podcast. We have Pleasant Hill Saturday, and then we leave for Utah on Friday. Something that we didn't get to talk to you about. Is that someplace that you would ever consider running?
Utah?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I want to run Utah bad. I do. Honestly, I'll probably consider it next year.
I'm going to stir a fucking hornet's nest. Something that we have hit on, you guys took a team to Border Wars in 2022.
Yep.
Know the reason why.
Yep.
I've kind of heard it through the grapevine that there's some more states that are in Border Wars for 2024. Nothing is completely set in stone, but it's a pretty good idea of what's going on. Illinois was listed in that. I didn't know.
Not myself, no. I'll be honest with you. I haven't set in stone anywhere I want to go run yet. I've looked at several shows. The Want hasn't been there. Nate Hull actually asked me about Utah. I said, sounds fun.
Sounds fun. That's a pretty good one to take with you, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I know he's got some good buddies out there he talks to all the time. Something different. Change of pace. Big track, dry track.
Now, here's the question. Are you talking like the stern dirt stuff that we're going to, or are you thinking the heavier...
I don't want no heavy build. I'm lazy. I'll do the heavy builds. I don't mind doing them, but anymore I feel like I'm lazy. So I'd rather probably just go out for a light build.
Because their light wheel build is pretty close to like what I would all consider like a street stock build.
Yeah, and that's where I'm comfortable at. That still takes me 6 months. I'm slow.
I'm working on 3 years.
I mean, you do got a little dude that just turned a couple.
Yep.
So that changes the ball game a little bit.
90% of the evenings spent on golf cart ride with him. We're looking for deer, going up to the neighbor Chads a lot, just enjoying it. He's getting more and more to where he wants to be in the shop, though, and understand now. I want to work on stuff. He's got his own tool set.
He'll
come in there, beat on the car.
He's just in there wanting to twerk.
Yeah. He's a handful. Wouldn't trade him for anything, though.
There's the thing. You have a support group to do what you guys are doing this year.
Oh, yeah. My techs, my help. most of them donated everything back they earned to the show.
But the cool part about that is they were all really close with him. And they know what it's going for. So I'm going to break down in the Memorial Fund. What is that actually set up to do? Is that like college scholarships?
It's going to be, he was real close with the Central Volleyball girls, I think, with his nieces.
Yep.
Some scholarships there. Some stuff for the youth kids derbying. Whether we paying entries or a setup here and there. Wherever we can help with it.
He was just such a good dude. That's the deal, you know. And like I said, it's so awesome to watch all the support and hear and read and see all the support to do something like this for
that's what the sport's
that
about.
man. Yes,
I mean, we've seen it time and time again.
Yep.
These people will give back tenfold.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
You see it every year. Blizzard Bash.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every year, everywhere.
I mean, hell, you know, at Palmyra
Yeah.
with Greg Neal's.
hell, there was multiple. There was two of them. There was two cars that were donated to raffle off, and I was like, "Bleh." We knew about one. We didn't even know about the second one. And then
it
here
just
comes the
showed
second one.
day up, and I was like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Why not?
Yeah, he remembers that show.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Because he not only fucked up once when he parked on the concrete,
Yeah.
he tried to rip his insides out on the second shot.
We have to find another two-man team show sometime. And myself and Colt Doyle are going to go get redemption. Because neither one of us had a good night that night.
I think there might be another one next week.
Well, we're ready for it.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, because neither one of us had a very good showing.
No, he kind of struggled from the jump.
Yeah, distributor both times.
Yeah, distributor
Just
just
lost
dumb
fire.
shit.
And then, yeah, like I said, had a rookie mistake in the heat. Should have won that heat. And then the feature, I thought Eddie Chick was running with us. I didn't know he was just hitting Colt just to help him push him. And all I seen is Colt get hit by Eddie, and I got tunnel vision. And then the one time I wore a seatbelt about cuts me in half. And so then I back up, and I'm sitting there trying to catch my wind, and I get my wheel knocked off, and I was done.
I went down to check on him and said, "You good?"
Oh. No,
Not at all.
that wasn't good. It was not good.
I said, "You sure, man? I don't know. It felt like my insides just came out." I was like,
bad.
"Oh God!" But we've also talked to this dude, or about this dude that doesn't wear a seatbelt. We have seen him in the fucking floorboard.
That's
That was another borrowed car, though.
That's the same car.
The same
Yeah.
car.
Same exact car, Shabina. Actually blew the sole on my shoe.
Yeah, because you were there and then you were gone.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, where'd fuck Austin go?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I seen Serena had captured the photo up at Peoria where my head's completely into the window bar and stuff. I don't remember flying that far up when I hit somebody. But obviously did not have a seatbelt on again.
Usually the smaller guys, they wear the seatbelts. The bigger guys, they don't. I mean, because this is a lot more physics to move than that half.
Yeah.
Right.
So usually the bigger guys want their whole bodies moving a little bit, and usually little guys don't happen.
I don't wear one. I mean, I usually have one when I come in, and as soon as we get out there, I
Yeah.
unlatch. And
That's one thing I still got to do the raffle car because I wouldn't have one on, but I
Seatbelt.
got to put them in there, yes.
Because I mean, worst comes to worst, we can ratchet strap somebody's ass in there.
Yes.
I have seen that happen.
I had a guy come, I was like, no, either don't wear a seatbelt or get out of the car. Or
Yep.
You're not getting in there with a ratchet strap. I'm
Yep.
sorry. I was like, because then I got to try and cut that.
Yep.
Because there's no way I'm going to get it turned loose.
No.
So, yeah, we're not doing that.
No.
What is, I know, very strenuous week. You've already said you're a procrastinator.
Yes. Bad. All of us are.
What's next year looking like? Or have you even considered it yet?
Have not considered next year. People have reached out the fairs from this year and stuff. I told them at the end of the year we will regroup as a team. I will talk to the guys. I'll see what they want to do, and we will go from there.
Could be one of them where some of the guys say, let's do one or two more.
Or
Or
less.
let's back it down.
Yeah,
Let's take one or two less.
And I'm not going to do it without that crew.
That is one thing that we talk about so much in the state of Missouri is you've got 42 promoters and the rules aren't the same.
Yep.
Have you had any other promoters reach out to you trying to get you?
We have,
get them on the same page.
And there are some that run the same rules now. Unfortunately, you can run the same rules on paper. It's not the same. It's not the same rules when you pull on the track. And I've explained that to people. I don't care. Yes, unified rules would be great. I would love that for everywhere. They will never be. They will never be the same rules.
Correct.
They won't.
Because you will read a rule sheet different than he will.
Yep.
He will read it different than I will.
Yep. And then how it's enforced.
And then how's it enforced?
That's. I mean, unfortunately, yeah, you could have the same rules everywhere. You could, but it's still not going to be the same.
You know, you used to work for Ultimate Derby.
Yep.
So when they started this national deal, that's one thing that we really talked about, because if you're going with destructive behavior guys to Derby icons to Ultimate Derby, all the techs are fucking different.
Yep.
And we know that. But one thing that they did is they've got a compact tech that was for Derby icons and Ultimate Derby. Then the destructive behavior show, the Wasatch County Wipeout, the UD guys teched it. So they're trying to figure out
You have to,
to
get
level
unison.
that playing field. But it's not going to be perfect.
It's not going to be perfect. It isn't.
But when it goes there, that's the equalizer.
Yes.
You know, whether you run for, say you made it through Mayhem and you got a spot to Gold Rush, it's going to be different techs. Josh and CJ and Taylor are going to be different techs than Sam,
Yep.
Chris, and Cactus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Nick King's still going to be both ways, but is that something? The only reason I'm saying that is that something that you would consider for next year is using the Terry Memorial as a qualifier.
I don't think we're to that level yet.
You sure?
No, I'm not sure. I have wanted. I've talked to Mark Elliott about getting it on the Unified Points Series. We have wanted to add that to it. That has been brought up. Unfortunately, the schedules did not work again. I think Mark wants to be a part of it. I do. And maybe we are there. I don't know. But no, I mean, I would consider anything. Obviously, I want the show to grow for Terry.
Mm-hmm.
I want people to remember what it's for.
Correct.
Yeah. So no, I mean, that might be a possibility.
I mean, because there is that possibility. I mean, it really is to look, because there's no pre-registration for cars
No.
for this weekend. So
No,
we
I
really
don't-
seriously don't know who the fuck is
We don't. I don't want to know. Even when we do the driver's pre-registration, a lot of the guys didn't do it anyway last year because they didn't want anybody to know they're coming, which I'm fine with. I'm fine. We'll plan for heats. We'll plan accordingly. We'll make it work.
Because there is that chance you could look down and see Don Santel,
you could see some. I mean,
Trevor Jones,
somebody that ain't ran in years there.
Billy Eastep.
Yeah.
You can see.
You could see that. You could. I mean, you're going to have several drivers there that are on a national level, that run national level shows frequently, that will be there. And the action, like I said, will be, you don't want to miss the action.
No. They can catch it on Derby Tees,
DerbyNation.tv, yep.
Derby Nation,
Yep.
Domination Motorsports TV.
Domination Motorsport TV, yep.
So if you can't go, you could at
And
least.
everybody's Snapchat.
Yeah, so probably everybody's Snapchat that's going to be there. Like I said, it's a great grounds, great people there. They've been very accommodating, so helpful. So helpful.
One thing that I talked to him last year was Bill Miller takes care of the track.
Yeah,
Correct.
Well, Bill and Sonny. Bill actually left the fair board last year.
Didn't know that.
Yes, he is running.
Oh.
Yes. So this year I've done a lot with Bill Burdick, who's been great.
The track
on
was
the Derby.
fucking amazing
Yes.
last year.
And then Cole McKinnon. He came onto the fair board and has been top notch as far as advertising, layouts, getting everything ready for me. Them guys have been great. I mean, they want this show to succeed. they're glad we chose there.
Yes.
Fair board backing is so much. It's such a big part of putting on a demolition derby.
It is. There have been shows that I've went and helped at that I could care to go back to because the fair board absolutely did not care.
I had a very successful show in Palmyra, and 100% that's the reason I won't go back.
Yeah, there was been a couple shows I've just went and helped tech, volunteer time or something, and I can see why that they don't have the successes because the fair board simply does not care.
They won't, well, and they won't let them. Like, I mean, some of those places are stuck in, 2006,
Yep.
7, where you got to bring stuff up with the times, and if they're going to fight you every step of the way, you don't want to do that.
No, yeah, every fair board we worked with this year was very good. I went to them, I pitched what I wanted. I told them that payouts had to come up across the board. I told them what we'd done last year down at Plesant Hill. They all believed and all had great shows, so
Yep.
hope to grow on that. I do. For at least a couple years to come.
Yes.
You're definitely going in the right direction.
Oh, yes. Yes. And like we've said on here, I mean, the support that you're getting from the regular drivers that have been to every one of your shows and figuring out how to fix some shit in just a couple days to get it through. I mean, you had a show on a Tuesday and then you had a show on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So you got 3, I'm going to say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to fix your shit.
Yep.
And
But you
work.
gotta work at
And
some
work.
point.
And work, yes. And a couple of them had junk after that show to fix.
Yes.
And we're still there. But James Kitchell, for example, he hadn't ran Adams County in probably 15 years. He got DQ'd one night.
And he was over.
Hadn't went back. Said he'd never go back.
Well, he
If
went
it would have
back.
been what we were doing this for, he would have went.
Yeah, he went back, and you're not used. I personally am not used to seeing him in that type of a build.
And that's James's build, really. That's where
Is it?
James shine. Yes,
Okay.
yes. That's where James is going to. I mean, he can shine in anything.
Well, it's not
But
like
James
the fucker
mo-
can drive or anything.
James is most comfortable in probably more of a stock build. That's where James can.
We've seen him at Blizzard Bash.
You've seen him a mod at Blizzard Bash, yeah.
Or Capital Carnage.
Yep.
Something like
Yep.
that. So that just really curveballed me. Watching that, I was like,
Yep.
you motherfuckers got your hands full with him.
Anybody
right now.
that you see that can drive is pretty good across the board in
Anything.
In anything.
They will adjust to the situation.
It might not be the first time, they jump from a mod car down to the
Yep.
stock or vice
Correct.
versa. They'll adapt
Yes.
And
because
James,
it's all a chess game.
he never gets. I'm going to say this: James never gets wound up.
Never.
He never changes his pace. Once he sets a pace, that's where he goes. No matter if somebody's trying to fucking blast him in the door or what he's doing, he
Yep.
is just one level what he plans on doing for that entire feature.
Yeah, he's one of them drivers that will not beat himself. There's some drivers out there that will end up beating themselves. So will self-destruct, break down, whatever. He's not going to beat himself.
Get pissed,
Yeah, he's not going to let it happen.
full track somebody, stand their shit straight up. And I'm not implying that to you because you don't do that when you're pissed.
It's
You
not
just
a-
fucking
That's
do that.
fun. No, and when I want, there's days I want to go drive to win. There'll be days I go run an hour feature. Do I enjoy it? Yeah. Is it as much fun? No.
Do you catch much shit from home when
Yeah.
when she says you drive like a pussy?
Yeah. I mean, but I want to prove to myself I can still drive
Correct.
and hang with people to the end. And I can't. I mean, if I have my mindset 100% straight, that's the way I'm going to drive. But a lot of times it's ready to go have fun. I've won everything I've wanted to.
That's a good. I mean, that's where you want to be at.
Yeah, the last show I wanted to win was Plesant Hill, and won it 2 years ago.
Yep.
I mean, from a driver, builder, promoter standpoint, that's where you want to be at. Like that, you set goals for yourself. I mean, I know I did whenever we were putting on shows. After we had that 180 car derby, I felt like I was,
Yep.
I'd reached the top
The
of the
level
county
that you
fair.
wanna be, yeah.
What you wanted to do, yeah. Like I said, Pleasant Hill was the last show I wanted to win. It was the last local show to me that I hadn't won. I won it and decided to have fun.
Yep.
Now, don't get me wrong, I still want to win here and there.
Oh,
and the drive, but as far as it have to, I don't have any.
Correct. Now, I'm
You don't feel
gonna,
like you're trying to prove something to yourself now.
No,
I mean, that's and
no.
you see that with a lot of different guys, that set their sights where they want to be at, and you see them win it, and they're like, they relax. You might not see them hit as many shows and stuff, and they fade more to the fun side of things instead of the drive to be this where they want to be.
usually you'll see it. You'll get guys that'll run, let's say, 20 times a year. Until they've kind of hit where they want to be, and then you'll just start watching them 10 times a year, 6 times a year, 4 times a year.
Then they're fishing.
And then they're fucking fishing and they're camping. And
Life happens. I mean, you're going to go take your swings. I'll never fully get out of derbying. I've tried twice. It won't happen.
You're too young.
It won't. I know. Yeah. I thought I could walk away. It'll never happen.
Just don't happen.
No. I bought back in bigger than ever.
Yep.
Well, I really did. I thought I could get out of it after we stopped promoting. I figured, it's time to go do something else. And before the winter was over, I was like, I kind of want to go run Peoria.
Yep. Yeah, it's something that I still enjoy to do.
Which, in turn, was a whole new setup. I mean, I bought, GM motor and transmission, all that shit. Because that's what he told me whenever I went and told him I was going to go run. He's like, but you just said you're
Done. Yeah.
I was like, well, I've got a cherry car, and I just bought a motor and transmission. He's like, well, that's the opposite direction of where you read it with that.
Yeah, by this time we were already supposed to have campers and be camping and all kind of shit. And if anybody pays attention, we haven't bought campers.
Yeah. Yep.
No, I've run more in 1 year than I ever have.
Yep. So I'm going to address the elephant in the room. We talked to you last year, roughly about this time. You saved a lot of your vacation for Blizzard Bash.
Yep.
You are not taking Blizzard Bash.
No.
We're not going to go into why you're not taking Blizzard Bash. We kind of conversed a little bit before. Is that something that you had to adjust to? Because I know you switched jobs this year as well.
So in switching jobs, I lost pretty much all my vacation. So.
Because you had, what, fucking 2 months worth or something like that?
I had ample amounts. I think it was 27 days is what I had. I'd been there a long time. It was time for a change. And so I lost half my vacation. So really what I was using for Blizzard Bash and stuff like that is gone. I mean, anyway. Using what days I do for derbying still. So. Because
you're going to take off.
Oh, I got to take off Thursday, Friday this week.
Yeah.
To get everything ready.
Right off the bat.
Yep. And probably Monday to recuperate almost.
I don't know. Is your boss an asshole?
No. No. Great guys. You might see one or two of them this weekend.
Probably going to see 2 of them this weekend.
Yes.
But, because I knew you always saved your vacation for that type of shit, and now you're not having to do it. I mean, you maybe consider going up to South Dakota?
I might go north for the winter.
Go north for the winter?
We'll see.
The only thing that sucks is because everybody around here who did try to qualify, only one made it.
Yep.
We'd talked so much, I would have loved to have seen 4 or 5 of them make it.
Yes, there were several that were close to Peoria. The locals from around here that went and ran that show were...
Jaden was close.
Jaden was close. Tyler Hill took second. Allen took third.
Allen.
I mean, yeah, all them guys were close.
And guys, you'll see them this weekend.
I would say you'll see a couple of them this weekend for sure. Yes, Gary Robinson was close.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Man, you talk about somebody that's run a bunch this summer.
Gary, yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And that's another guy that's not been derbying for 3 years now. And the drive he has.
He's out swinging.
Yeah, he's one that caught on. He wanted to learn. He's put the time in, and he's became successful.
You did mention a youth show.
Yes.
Is Saturday as well.
Yep.
We've had Griff on here. with us.
Yep.
And he did say that was his next show.
Yep.
He is winning the points.
He's right. Yep.
Brady Ingram second.
Carly McAllister is second.
Carly's second.
We won't go into detail there, but it should be
Really?
It should be interesting.
I was just waiting for you to put I was waiting on Derek to put
The youth class would be good, I think.
Or really fucking bad. Really bad for Griff.
Yeah, but no, it's for 11, 17-year-olds for our full-size hobo rules. We've had right around 10 to a dozen each show. I could see this one being a few more.
Went to Griggsville, the very first one of this
Yep.
year, and the Ingram kid pretty quick lost his entire steering column.
Entire steering column.
Like, handed it to the fucking tech to get it out the
Yep.
window and run it down
Third.
with zero fucking steering.
Yep.
You know, that right there shows progression.
Yep.
Because before, most kids, I can't steer, fuck this. Reach up and they break it. Not him.
Yep.
Not him. No. And then you see Griff and a Metro GM just send that bitch from one end to the other, stand everything up.
We were asking him about that. And he's like, I didn't think it was going to bend like that.
Them cars cannot take them shots. Frame rail, track. You're going to get one shot out of it, and that's what you're going to get.
Well, he got it.
Yes. No, and we're also giving away 2 cars to the youth. So each youth that ran a show this summer, putting everybody in a hat down there at Plesant Hill, drawing 2 winners. So
every youth driver that has ran
yep.
gets.
So if they ran 3 shows, they get 3 names in the hat. Ran 2 shows, get 2. But by every one of them that's ran at least once gets their name in the hat.
What kind of car?
They're metric GMs.
All you're doing is helping the kids.
Yeah,
Correct.
Junior Eddie actually helped me out a lot with that. So
But I mean, start him in something like that.
yeah,
Kinley.
Kenley Eves, that's the car we gave away last Christmas. He took second at Griggsville. He's running again this weekend.
85.
Yep.
Metric GM.
There's nothing wrong with them cars. There really isn't.
I've got one. I got a Caprice sitting in the. I mean, it's ready. Like it needs a cage started.
Yep.
Well, somebody I've seen getting in a Metric GM wagon, and
That shit was cool, though. That's fun to watch.
I had to prove to them they're not that bad.
they're not. They're not. And that was their wire class.
That was their bone stock
That's
build.
their bone stock.
Yeah, I mean,
hobo
basically the only
build.
difference from our hobo rules were any bumper any rear end. Other than that, it's the same bone stock build. The Amish was hungry.
Yeah,
Scary
you
numbers.
caught so much fucking internet scrutiny because of that shit. Why'd they let him nose out of the fucking dirt? Well, does it say anywhere that you
Man,
gotta
that's how
back
I
that bitch
couldn't.
in or you gotta nose it in?
Yep.
Well, we argued that on here. He's
Yeah.
like, how the fuck are you going to build somebody's car for them, tag it, official it, and then tell them where they've got to park? You know, like, come on, fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
You got to give the driver some freedom.
yeah, everybody knew it was coming.
Well, I'm telling you, with some of the ignorant hits I've seen this year off the fucking line, you couldn't have paid me like at Shelbina. There's no way I would have pulled in nose to that dirt. There ain't no fucking way.
You
Yep.
don't see that shit coming.
Oh yeah,
At least have an idea
Because
of which way you can go to get the
we've
fuck
said
out of
it
it.
forever. The only way to stop a full track shot is to meet him in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's there has been some wild hits.
Off the line.
Right off the rip. 3,
I
2,
mean,
1,
Madison
go.
was ignorant.
Yep.
Shelbina was insane. They were
Griggsville.
just- Yeah.
The first Griggsville show I went to.
Yep.
Yeah. Pleasant
for
Hill
me-
right off the fucking rip this summer. I was watching it and it was
Oh yeah.
it was bad too.
It's from the drop the green
And
flag.
it's not just one class. It's every class.
Well, like I said, I may not be able to stop that hit from happening, but I want to see it coming.
Yep.
I don't want to be turned around backwards whenever I get hit like that.
Yep.
I don't like it.
No, I hate getting hit. Hate it.
I want to be the person hitting. I don't know. I know that everybody, because I've got friends that don't derby, and they're like, "Why does that matter?" I'm like, "I don't know, but it does."
It matters a
It
lot.
does.
Like because I can go out there and hit as hard as I possibly can, and I'm like, "Yeah, that wasn't bad."
Yep.
And I take that, And I'm like, oh, I think I broke myself.
I
Yes.
think I broke myself.
Well, whenever Chad hit me in the side at Peoria, like it threw me completely over the center.
Center bar.
Like
Yeah.
I
Yep.
bent my fuel pump.
One of them, which we had talked, the Chad Markley hit at Blizzard Bash this
Oh,
year.
yeah.
His fucking helmet, and it's on Facebook, his helmet is touching his passenger door plate
Yep.
because Chad never runs a center bar.
Yep.
But if Chad would have ran a center bar,
It'd been worse.
it would have broke
Yeah, it would have
every fucking rib.
Oh,
Corey Ludington, Palmyra.
oh God.
It would look like that.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah.
That was absolutely gross. I didn't
Yes.
post it. I should have. So see what a center bar will do for you.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, in mine, you've seen my car, it's like my center bar is a long ways. away from me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I don't want to be tucked up against
Yeah.
it at all.
Yeah. Well, dude, getting ready. Like I said, this is the last hurrah for the year.
Yep.
Is there any update? Because, like I said, this will launch Thursday morning. Is there something that you want to tell the drivers? Is there something that you want to tell the spectators that we haven't hit on?
Not really. I think I've reached on Facebook pretty much trying to keep everybody up to date. As far as spectators, I feel it's one you don't want to miss.
It's one pay to get in,
Yep.
and that'll get you
That's
all
all
the
access.
way
That's
around.
Yes. Everywhere. I'm huge on the children interaction with this stuff because most of the time it's video games, cell phones anymore. In the sport, I mean, it's car counts are dwindling, so we're doing what we can to keep them involved.
That's why we paid that extra insurance money so that we could have kids in the pits.
Yep. I want them involved in it. Them kids look at these drivers, like I say it all the time, as superheroes.
Yes.
They don't know.
Those are football cards to
Yeah,
to these kids.
they don't know no
Yeah.
better. That's the guy they might get to see 3 times a year run. But to that, he's huge.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's what we have kind of noticed because we can just be walking through somewhere. I mean, it's kind of weird to see comments and stuff on Facebook and messengers, coming in and promotion companies that have, that we're in contact with and we're talking to and giving us the chance to do what we get to do.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, my bucket list show to go watch is Utah. We leave next Friday. I mean, it's surreal that all this shit's happening, and we can't do it without promotion groups, guys like you and Johnny and Sam, and doing what we get to do is just a couple fucking rednecks sitting
Yep.
around talking about derbies. But for some reason, evidently likes. I don't know if it's a comical relief or what it is, but
It works.
But dude, we like I said, we want to appreciate you for coming on, getting on with us, talking about this.
Thanks for letting me come on again.
I know it's still emotional, especially this week, and I'll probably be joining somebody for probably some tears on Saturday.
Yes.
So, 2 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
3
3
o'clock
o'clock start time.
Yep. Cornhole
Saturday.
9, 3 o'clock start time for the Derby.
DerbyNation.tv.
Yep. Domination Motorsports
DominationMotorsports.tv.
And Snapchat.
And 4 million Snapchat
Yes.
feeds.
That's why I've quit going to Facebook the next day. I just go to Snapchat.
TV. Yes.
So, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
We will see. Well, I'll see you Saturday morning. Somebody else won't. He's kind of getting used to it because where have you got to go this year?
Wherever on. That's it. Went to Peoria, Madison, and Huntsville. That's it.
Go to Border Wars, I get called a fucker.
I'm going
Go to
Utah.
Spring X, get called a fucker. But I won't leave him home for the next one. So,
Yes.
again, thank you guys for all the downloads and all the support.
Yep. Thank you.
Any last words, homie? Make jump, boys.